Good morning, everyone. It's day 5 of our big loop trip, and today we are going from Santa Fe, New Mexico up to Taos, New Mexico. And what's going to make this interesting is that there are no superchargers. And according to the app A Better Route Planner, if we consume less than 340 watt hours per mile on this trip, we'll be able to make it up there, do what we want to do, and come back. So last night I went to the Santa Fe Supercharger, and which is about 10 miles away from where we are, and it's also downhill from where we are, and charged up to 99%. Unfortunately, when I got back up to our place, the 10 miles and uphill, I burnt 5% of that, so I really kind of wanted to top off. So it struck me that maybe the house that we are staying at has a 110 volt outlet on the outside of the house. I don't even think about that because I have a wall connector in my garage at home, and I just plug in. And I have never used the mobile connector since I got the car. It's been in the trunk. And sure enough, there is a 110 volt outlet. So I plugged the car in when I got back, and I let it trickle charge overnight. It was very slow, but it got up to 100%. I started preconditioning this morning, and it has dropped down to 98%, but that's fine. It still says charging complete. I think we'll be okay. So let me show you what our route is. So here's the route from Santa Fe up to Taos. Well, that's called the low road, but we're actually going to take that on the way back. What we're going to do is we're going to take what's called the high road, which cuts across up into the mountains up around here to Taos. Then we're also going to come over here to the Rio Grande Gorge bridge, which is right there. And then we're going to also tool around the Taos area and then come back. So it's going to be an interesting trip. It's only 69 miles up the short way. It's about 120 miles up the long way. We're going to need about 200 miles. Now, it feels like we're going to be going up to Taos into the mountains, but actually Taos has a lower elevation than Santa Fe by about 1,000 feet, I think. So, but we're going to be going up into the mountains, so we're going to see how all this goes. Worst case scenario, I may need to go to a destination charger here in Taos. There's a free one downtown. It's a juice box plug-in. That is a donation based only, and if I need to plug in, I will plug in. We'll kind of play that by ear. So we're gonna get everybody packed up, and it's gonna hopefully be a nice stress-free drive. All right, before we take this video any farther, I probably should say that in the planning for this trip up to Taos, I was kind of freaking out a little bit. Our ride into Santa Fe from Oklahoma City was just horrible from a efficiency standpoint, especially the closer that we got to Santa Fe. We were upwards due to the wind in the 350, 400, even almost 500 watts per mile range, and I didn't know what to expect. So I was sitting there on the A Better Route Planner app, and it's a really great app for letting you put in multiple destinations and those kinds of things. But the one setting that you have to enter in yourself is what is your expected watts per mile. Well, I had been averaging 350 almost up to the trip up to that point. So I started playing around with the 340, 350, and it was saying we weren't going to make it without plugging in up in Taos. So, and I wasn't quite sure how this was all going to work, and it's my first experience of getting the car up and running up in the mountains. And with the idea of having to use a destination charger, I've never had to use a public destination charger. So it was kind of freaking me out a little bit, because it was saying that if I was hitting averages that were around the same average that I had up to that point, I might have been in trouble. So let's take a look at how it actually turned out. Taos, and we did it with an efficiency rate of 223 watt hours per mile, and we arrived with a 73% state of charge, which is much better than the better route planner said it we would be. We're here at the destination charger with my J1772 adapter, and we're gonna plug in, see if we can get some juice. It's blinking. We're charging. Here at a donation only juice box. They're asking for a $3 per hour donation, which we will do when we get back to the car. Right now we are plugged in next to a blue Model X, and we're gonna get some lunch. And it appears this charger, we're getting 9 kilowatts or full 40 amps, which is cool. And we'll just let it sit here while we go eat some lunch. All right, so we got lunch in Taos and tooled around in town. So we're gonna head up next to the Rio Grande Gorge Bridge, which is right there. It's saying it's pretty close, but what's interesting, or what's of note here, is that when we got here to Taos, we were at 74%, and we've been having it sit on a slow charger here that is a donation only, and we got it up to 93%. So we should be good to go for the ride back and then some. Hi guys, it's we're up at the high point of our day up to Taos and the Rio Grande Gorge Bridge, and we will be making our way back to Santa Fe. And as I was hoping, it looks like we're going to get there with plenty of power, plenty of battery. Right now we're looking at about 80 miles. We're sitting here at an 88% state of charge, and it says we're going to get back to our location in Santa Fe with 62%. So even if the numbers are way off on the way back up to Santa Fe, we should still be okay, given that we went to a quick charger, not really a quick charger, but a slow free charger in the Taos area. If any of you have any ability to get down here and make this drive, it is a beautiful drive. Coming up through the high, you have two choices. You can either go from Santa Fe to Taos through the high road or the low road. The high road is up through the mountains. That's the way we came up. And the low road is the way we're going to go down, which basically follows the Rio Grande River. And so coming up, the roads were 45 most of the way up. It's a beautiful drive, and I had it on autopilot the entire time, and it handled the twists and turns very well. And so I expect to do the same thing on the way down. Let's hit the road, and I'll get some video footage on the way down. get back from our trip up to Taos and the Rio Grande Gorge Bridge and all the way back, and it wasn't a nail biter. As it turns out, we had almost better range coming back. If I remember right, I had 90, almost 100 miles coming back, and we averaged 247 watts per mile. So up and back was excellent range. So all my fears this morning about having to be 100% charged and not sure if I was going to be able to come back were based on what I was seeing for range coming out to Santa Fe, which was horrendous in the wind. And it turns out that there really wasn't much of a way of wind. It was in the high 40s, low 50s the whole time, Fahrenheit. And we were driving relatively slow most of the time. So all of those factors combined made for a great trip. And if you're in the Santa Fe area and you want to make the run up to Taos, take the high road. It's much prettier, in my opinion, than the low road down by the river. All in all, great trip. So that's all for day 5, and tomorrow we're going to go hiking. It's going to be less interesting from a Tesla point of view, but it's going to be fun from a family point of view. Well, it's day 6 in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and we got a lot of snow. Pro tip: when it's snowing, don't have Sentry mode turned on. I have 298 events from last night.
On my past decisions, check my phone and it is 8 minutes past 5. Hear echoes through my tunnel vision, words that carry through the whole damn night. And as light creeps in through the blinds, check my phone one more time. Would you reply? No, it's just 8 minutes past 5.
I'm seeing a lot of this on this drive. So we're ending the day of day 6. It is just past 5 p.m. and we had a really kind of nice day, considering how it started with the car covered in about 4 inches of snow this morning, which we thought was pretty much going to ruin our day. But we decided to go for a drive up to White Rock and Bandelier National Monument and up into the Los Alamos area, where there are some really, 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 really beautiful areas up there. And we pretty much just tooled around up there most of the day and came back into Santa Fe. And I'll show you from an efficiency standpoint where we ended up. But I can say that on many stretches of the road, very hilly, I had my energy graph for 5 miles in the negative territory several times for the average. And overall, for the day, we ended up with 106.2 miles, and our average was 241 watt hours per mile, which is below the rated number for the day, and all in all, good day and efficient day. So tomorrow we're going to be closing up shop here in Santa Fe and making a cross-country trip straight north from here to Boulder, Colorado. And we'll be doing some stuff up there in Boulder for a couple of days before heading east out of Colorado into Nebraska and then back home into Iowa. So stay tuned for those videos if you want to see how the Tesla performed on its way down out of a high elevation into a low elevation. I'm anticipating it's going to be better than the drive was out here going west. Hopefully, at least it's got to be better, I hope. So until then, please, if you like this video, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel, allows me to bring videos like this to you on a regular basis. And otherwise, we'll just catch you on the next video. Thanks.